Welcome to Tiny Travelers, brought to you by BabyQuip, the family travel podcast where we make traveling with little ones easier, smarter, and more fun. I'm Sarah, a travel-loving mom who knows the joys and chaos of exploring with little ones. Each week, we dive into parent-tested strategies, travel hacks, and honest advice on what really works with kids. So buckle up, grab your travel planner, and let's make your next family adventure unforgettable. Pack light, travel happy. Welcome back to Tiny Travelers, brought to you by BabyQuip, the podcast where we talk about traveling with kids and traveling through life with kids. I'm Sarah Huff, gear expert at BabyQuip and host of Tiny Travelers. Around here, we talk about family travel, building a life that works for you, and all the logistics that come with raising kids in different seasons and different places. Today's guest brings such a unique perspective to that conversation. Ariana Johnson Patriz is a BabyQuip quality provider based in El Salvador, where she helps traveling families explore the country with less stress by renting baby gear locally. Originally from the U.S., Ariana moved to El Salvador after marrying her husband and has spent years traveling internationally with young kids, including relocating with a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old, which honestly sounds like a feat on its own. She's also the founder of El Salvador Kids Guide, a platform that highlights kid-friendly places and experiences as family tourism continues to grow in the country. Ariana, welcome to Tiny Travelers.
Thank you, Sarah. So nice to see you and meet you.
Nice to see you.
Intro.
I'm so excited to have you on and talk about international travel in El Salvador and all that kind of stuff. And because, we talk about traveling through life and traveling with kids, you've traveled internationally with young kids and you even relocated with them. But what's something people assume about traveling internationally with babies that actually you found not to be true?
Well, I mean, traveling in general, like you said, is difficult, and traveling internationally can be difficult. For me, I think I've had less of a hard time just because, I have a big family here in El Salvador. And when you travel with family, that makes life a lot easier. If you're not the sole parent taking care of everything and ensuring everything is working out. So every time we come to visit El Salvador, before we moved, I had my husband's family, they have 8 brothers and sisters. So someone was always there to help when we arrived with a big basket of fruit, or they rented us. They shared their crib with us the first time we went. Kids didn't use it, but the families,
no kid ever uses a crib.
Yeah. Back when BabyQuip did not exist here, you needed family, you needed connections in order to make traveling more feasible.
Yeah, you had a village.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. What surprised you the most about traveling internationally with your kids?
I mean, parents often have these concerns when you're traveling internationally, like, oh no, what are my kids going to eat? They're so used to, what we have at the grocery store here, what we have for snack. That's one thing. The weather, the change in culture. Here, greeting is very important. You have to say hello. You have to say goodbye, or it's very rude, and that's hard for it's hard for my kids.
I don't want my kids to be rude.
I know. I'm I don't want to be the one parent. But when you try your best to live like a local, or you go to the store, you buy what's there, and your kids you have to be flexible. And the more you travel, the more kids learn that. There's no other option, guys. Sorry, this is what we're going to do.
Isn't that kind of one of the benefits of traveling with the kids is you're getting them out of their comfort zone. They're learning new things, new cultures, new, food, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What actually, besides your village, made traveling internationally with kids kind of easy or easier for you?
Are we talking BabyQuip here?
I mean,
No.
this is a BabyQuip
honestly. Maybe we can just go there. Well, okay. So one, yes, BabyQuip does help. So when most of my experience traveling internationally, honestly, with kids is just going back and forth, visiting family here in El Salvador. Like I did our first trip with my kids when my son was 4 months old. And then we came at least once a year since then. And back then it was just like, he's going to need a crib. He's going to need a car seat. Where are we going to get these things? Like a bathtub. We just had to make do because there were zero things in the country that would rent you these things. It was just whatever you could find, or if you had a family or friend who would lend something to you, right? And so like I have pictures of my son on our first trip. He's in this little like maybe it was our second trip because he's in an infant car seat and he's like 2. He's like way too big for it. But it's just like what we could find and it was better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So I was the first provider of any baby rental gear, anything in El Salvador, starting last year. And I think I'm feeling a need based on my experience. And I took my family to Mexico before as well. And that's where I had our first experience renting baby gear. We rented a crib, which worked out really well. So that's where that little idea came in mind. But no, back to your question. There's more than just baby gear. What was the question again?
What? Okay, that happens to like literally me on every single podcast. Somebody's like, "What's the question?" And I was like, "I don't know what was the question."
No, because I had another thing in mind and I forgot.
No, because you're focusing so much on like, I've got to give you all this great information, and now. But what information? What makes international travel a little bit easier with kids? Renting baby gear obviously helps tremendously.
No, I had another one in mind though. Okay, so I can plug into what I'm doing. What helps also is like knowing where to go and what to do, and that you're going to find some kid-friendly something to do there when you're traveling. And so when I went to El Salvador the first couple times, it was like, I don't know where to take kids. I've gone here before and we, like when I was young and single or first married, and you do certain things. Like,
right, you're not doing the same things that you know.
Yeah. Here in El Salvador, it's very big on like adventure travel. So like the big thing people do is like go visit waterfalls. There's a beautiful volcano you can climb, hiking. Yeah. And like, I can't take a 1-year-old on these things. Well, you could if you have the right gear.
Right.
There's some great
mindset. I don't know if I would be taking a 1-year-old.
I wasn't going to. No.
But some people
might. And most of the times when I was visiting family, it was because you're there, you're going to visit family, you're going to be around the house and just hanging out and eating. Mm-hmm. But now that I live here, which was great. Yeah. But when you live here, or like now that I've moved here, it was still like, where can I take my kids? What is there to do here? Because there is things to do for kids. And so it was another hole that I saw, that nobody had a dedicated focus on like kid-friendly spaces or activities in El Salvador. And so I'm from Seattle area, and there's a couple like platforms there that are dedicated to, take your kids here.
Right.
And they have like calendars of activities based on where you're located. And I was like, why don't we have that here? Like nowhere in the whole country has that. And tourism is growing. And so once I started BabyQuip, and I was like, I need to connect with more parents and families who are coming so I can tell them about BabyQuip. But also I realized that the parents and families, maybe they're not coming because they don't know where to go, or they're coming because they're just visiting family, but you can do more here in El Salvador.
That is so interesting. Okay, so you moved to El Salvador with your kids and husband to live closer to his family.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about, being an entrepreneur is you saw a need and you started a business. So not only are you renting baby gear to traveling families, but you're also telling them, hey, here's some, my family guide to El Salvador, which is such a smart idea and the best way to keep, kind of your business growing by getting into a niche that you don't see a lot of people fulfilling already. But what do you feel like surprised you about growing those businesses in El Salvador?
A lot. Well, at first, when I started being a provider for BabyQuip, I was so worried. I started in November of 2025. When is that? I don't know. Last year, the year before last. And it was right before the holidays. I'm like, I don't know if I should start right now, but if I don't start right now, I'm gonna, I don't want to put it off. I was so worried I was going to be like inundated with reservations. And then I start. And of course I got like nothing for a good month. And then I got maybe one thing for a couple toys. It was something very minimal. She rented a crib and then had to cancel, and then just some toys. But I was super excited, and I was just so worried I was going to have too much business. I was worried everything was going to go too well.
That's not funny, but it's like so optimistic and sweet. Oh, I hope this business doesn't go so well for me.
I know, because I have a life. I can't do drop-offs all the time. But thank goodness it was a nice slow start for me to learn and, get more and more. And this year it's going a lot better and it's grown a lot. But that's because I realized that the issue was people don't know that they can rent baby gear here. They don't know it exists. And also because in the past, nobody came to El Salvador for tourism, and much less bringing young children, because it was known as the murder capital of the Americas.
Oh, well,
yeah, so it's
I guess you don't want to take kids to the murder capital. I don't know.
Yeah, it had a very bad reputation. But it's a beautiful country, and it no longer has that reputation.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's one of the top growing tourist destinations, at least in the Americas, maybe the world. I looked up this data. I'm going to share. So last year in 2025, they had 4.1 million tourists come to the country, which is a record for El Salvador. And so it's 4.1 million. And if you look at the population of El Salvador, it's only 6.4 million. So it's almost the amount of the population came to, well, not almost, but a good chunk of people came to visit this little country.
Though, to be in the rising time of this fun kind of business and tourism trade, in El Salvador. That must be really kind of fun to watch. And
no, it is. It's super exciting. And it's kind of crazy, close. It is kind of crazy because I was learning about BabyQuip. I'm like, I need to share to more people that this is available. I need to contact parents and families who are coming to visit their family in El Salvador, because more and more people are coming now. And so I need to let them know. And so I was all getting to social media and making really bad videos for Instagram. It's so funny because I'm an awful photographer. My family knows me for this. But through BabyQuip, I got the courage to try my best and make videos and just show what I'm doing. And then another idea I got through BabyQuip was just show some cool places that are kid friendly in your area. And so I started doing that. And I'm like, I'm just going to make a separate page for that. And then I'm going to promote my BabyQuip on that. And once I created my El Salvador Kids Guide Instagram page, it's also on TikTok and Facebook. But I started posting a couple of my bad videos. They've gotten better.
That makes me laugh because I also create a lot of bad videos too. And
I know.
but when I watch them back, I'm like, oh, look at you doing videos and stuff.
I know. I'm like, wow, I'm learning so much. I'm growing so much. And like, it was truly a need for like the local population because it just like blew up. I got like hundreds of followers in a short amount of time. And now I'm in the thousands, 10,000s.
Good for you.
So, yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought I was the only one because I'm like a foreigner who moved here and doesn't know anything. So I was just kind of showing what I was learning as I was learning. But then, like, the local population, too, they didn't know where to take their kids. Or, each mom has their own personal list. They're like, oh, I love this park. I love this restaurant. And they share with their mom friends. But there was no, like, place to see it all.
There's no community for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really taken off. And so much so that, like, the government even noticed what I was doing. Yeah. El Salvador is a very small country.
That's amazing, though.
But because the government has this new focus on tourism and also on family tourism, they started this new like family-friendly seal. So they're trying to get more family-friendly places in the country, and you have to go through like a certification process, and you get a seal for your business.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And so I was like showcasing these places that are naturally family-friendly. And just recently they reached out to me and said, hey, can we have your contact? We want to start inviting you to things. And
yeah. Okay. That's a government official now too.
It's kind of crazy. No, but we're working on collaborating. At least I have their support,
I mean, that's honestly so cool, especially as a small business owner. I think a lot of our quality providers, hopefully at BabyQuip, listen to this podcast every once in a while. But sometimes it's so nice to hear stuff like that about running a small business because it can be really difficult. And a lot of our BabyQuip small business owners just run it by themselves, as like moms or grandmas or grandpas or whatever. So it's kind of nice to hear those like success stories of people who just really wanted to help out their community. And it turned out
it's working very well.
And I love that.
I feel like you put in a little effort and you see the need, and usually, hopefully, good things come from that. And yeah, I've had a lot of, I don't know, or I would call it confirmation moments when you try, you make an effort and good things happen.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Manifesting.
Yes.
What do you want families to know if they're considering visiting El Salvador?
Well, so I said a couple things. One is you can check out El Salvador Kids Guide for some ideas of places to go. We have a lot of beautiful like natural areas still because it's so new in the like tourism department. There's so many new places that are kind of like being discovered in the country that before they were not accessible because it wasn't safe. And now you can go literally anywhere in the country, even at night, and people feel safe. There's a survey of Salvadorians that say like 87% of them feel safe now living in the country. And like you can go out and be a tourist in your own country, which before was not possible either. Yeah. And also like the government is making this big push for family-friendly spaces. And now it's in the airport. They're making it more family-friendly. You can bring your breast milk in unlimited quantities. There's they're just making a lot of
It's the little thing.
It is, though. It is. As a mother, like, these little changes are what makes your trip, like, manageable. So just knowing that, the whole country is getting on board for this family bandwagon, it's a good time to come and visit.
That makes you feel so good, too, just about, like, your country and, starting a business there, moving there and stuff like that. It's got to feel really, like, confirming to you.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's so good.
I love it here now. Did before, still do.
Okay, so let's talk about El Salvador Kids Guide. We have been talking about that a little bit. We've touched on it here and there, but this was really inspired by just you needing to know family resources and wanting to share the family resources that you kind of came into contact with as you were looking for places to go and bring your kids and all that kind of stuff. Where do you share your content?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook right now, and YouTube, but I don't update it. So you don't need to look for me
Don't go
there.
to YouTube yet.
I'm working on that one. But I have short form videos mostly. So that's where I have a lot of strength. That's where most of the content is. But I'm also working on building a blog, which is going to be more directed to tourists coming from outside of El Salvador. Most of my social media accounts are more like for locals. So it will give you kind of a local insider viewpoint of places to go and things to see. But on my blog, I'm hoping to have more details because families from outside need to understand a little bit better, like what it's like in the culture and might have different safety or health concerns than a local who already lives here.
Yeah.
Don't need to worry about those things as much. So I've got both going on and continuing to build.
That sounds amazing. That is so cool. Do you feel like this, platform that you have now and helping families, both local and traveling families, kind of make the most out of El Salvador, has it allowed you to kind of give back to El Salvador, or, has it led to any surprising things that you've been able to do for your family or other, families?
Yes. Well, hopefully I'm giving back to the country because that's kind of the big goal, is to help everybody. Help tourists come and see more things, help the locals get, known, their businesses known, and also local families having out and enjoying their country. That's for BabyQuip, that's a huge part of my business, is the people from the Salvadorian diaspora in the US coming back to visit. They're like abuelitos here, their cousins, their aunts and uncles. And they need a car seat. It is now a law in El Salvador. Finally, well, I'm not sure if there was a law before or not, but now it's an enforced law that all kids under 5 need to have a car seat, or you will face a fine.
Well, tell everybody what a diaspora family is if they're not sure.
So in El Salvador, we call them the like hermanos lejanos, like they call them their faraway brothers and sisters. So it's the people who maybe they grew up here or they have family here, but they're now living elsewhere. The majority are in the United States. A lot of Salvadorians are around like Washington, D.C., Massachusetts, from Vermont, or California or Texas. So I have a lot of families coming from there to come back home and visit their family members that are still here. A lot of people moved for many, many different reasons to seek better lives, because the gangs here truly controlled the country in the past and made it very hard to do anything, to live a normal life, to have businesses. And now the country's more opening up, more secure. A lot of families are coming back to visit family, some for the very first time, or are coming back to, see and understand their heritage better. And so it's a really good opportunity for them to take advantage of this time when
that's awesome. And then your rental business is, helping those families connect through car seats.
Yes.
And cribs and strollers. That's so nice. I love that. That's real. Running a business in another country, moving to another country, this all sounds so, I guess, unique to my life and that kind of thing. So this must be, your motherhood journey must feel so special and unique. Has, kind of moving to El Salvador or starting these businesses or anything really taught you about kind of yourself or family or how you want to raise your kids?
Yeah. We made a decision as a family to move here. I mean, I still have family back in Seattle area, and I miss them and I love them, but we really didn't see each other that much. Well, my mother I saw a lot, and she I'm sorry, Mommy. But she comes to visit. But we decided it was best for our family to move here. So we would be by this big extended family, which is, you need a community as a mother. All mothers, I think, understand this as we go through motherhood. The more community you have, the more support you have, the easier it is. And that was one thing. And I also I love the culture here. People are so friendly and welcoming and loving and hospitable. And, I want some of that culture and that love to hopefully, get into my children.
Yeah. That sounds so sweet and special.
And I wanted them to learn Spanish with me because I speak to them in English. And if they didn't go to a bilingual school in the States, I don't think they were going to learn it.
Right.
Well. So
it sounds like you're just setting them up for such a fruitful and diverse lifestyle and life.
So.
Yeah. I love that. I really do.
And I would say BabyQuip has given me many opportunities. It's so flexible. So I do have a part-time, normal job.
I love that we call them normal jobs. I too have a full-time normal job.
Yes. I have a part-time job where I work in the morning when my son's in kindergarten, at an office, at a desk most of the time. I'm a sustainable director of a Salvadorian Business Council for Sustainable Development, and we help businesses with their sustainability efforts. So I was doing that, and then part-time, I was like, oh, I want to find a part-time business that's sustainable and environmentally friendly, and so that's how I found rental. And
that's one of the things I loved the most about BabyQuip when I first started, was the sustainability factor. Was you don't have to, throw a bunch of stuff away when you travel or get a bunch of brand new stuff and then get rid of it right away when you travel. That was one of the things that I loved the most.
It's great. It's great for tourists. It's good for me. I don't have to buy new products all the time, just when my demand grows or if something if my car seat expires.
Right.
Yeah, it's very consistent. It's more of a service-based. It is a service. So
yeah. It's a great service too, guys.
It's a great service.
Ariana, this has been so fascinating to learn about you starting some awesome side businesses in El Salvador and traveling internationally. And I really do love how you've created a life that blends your family and travel and entrepreneurship and helping out the country that you moved to in such a meaningful way. So before we wrap up, I want to make sure that our listeners can find you and everything that you do. So share all the things where people can find you.
Okay. So the easiest to find is El Salvador Kids Guide. Go into any social media platform, most of them, and you can find me. Or if you want to look at my blog, if you're interested in coming to visit us in El Salvador and want to see some of the amazing, beautiful, crazy cool things we have, you can go to elsalvadorkidsguide.com and you will find me there. For BabyQuip, you can find me on the platform. I'm the second provider in El Salvador now. There is one other who I need to reach out to and make friends with in a different city. So,
well, yeah, fantastic. All right. So elsalvadorkidsguide.com and babyquip.com. You can find Ariana there, and you can find a lot of other cool, interesting things, I'm sure. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you've ever thought about traveling internationally with kids or even building a life somewhere new, I hope this episode gave you some inspirational and practical insight. Make sure to subscribe to Tiny Travelers for more conversations about family travel and navigating life with kids wherever you are in the world. Until next time, safe travels wherever life takes you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tiny Travelers. I hope today's episode gave you the inspiration and practical tips to make your next family adventure easier, stress-free, and more fun. If you loved today's episode, head over to the show notes for promo codes and exclusive resources to help you plan unforgettable trips with your little ones. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Happy travels, and I'll see you next time.